Today we have got a panel about the importance of seed saving, seed libraries, seed banks, you name it. And we've got Gina Marie, is that correct? From the Springfield Seed Library, is that correct?
I'm with the Springfield Greene County Library District, and it's the Heirloom Seed Library.
Fantastic, and that's in Springfield, correct?
Yes, in
Is it at a
Springfield, Missouri.
branch? Is it at a branch library?
The Springfield Greene County Library District is the whole district. We have two collections, one at the Midtown Carnegie Branch Library and the other at the Library Station. So two of our branches house our collection.
Well, awesome. Another grassroots effort. If you put your hands together in applause for Miss Gina Marie. And if you are not familiar with our second guest, this is John Kohler. Probably somebody you have seen at the Heirloom Expo in the past or on YouTube as the most popular gardening channel ever. John Kohler, ladies and gentlemen. So we're here today, and I hope that you guys are all having a great spring planting festival. Anybody out here in the audience growing corn this year? Hands? Corn. Awesome. I've got this project called the Great American Corn Grow Out, and one of the discussions that we had today with some other people was about heirloom and indigenous varieties of corn. And I had to back up and say, well, all corn is indigenous to North America. I mean, it was created or cultivated in Mesoamerica or Central America, in Mexico. So all the corns that we have, unless they were engineered in a lab, are American. They're Pan-American. These are it's part of our legacy. It's something that we can be proud of. It's something that each region has got a strain or variety that's local to there or to the people that originally stewarded the lands, maybe the Native Americans or other American farmers, from centuries past. So for those of you who are growing corn, I highly recommend that you document the process and this time-honored tradition of spring planting that's been going on in the Americas, Pan America, for hundreds and hundreds of years. Show your pictures and in hopes of inspiring other people who've never grown corn to grow it, to see that, well, if my neighbor can do it or the Joneses are doing it, we could do it too, One of the things that gets me really excited is seeing people grow corn in their front yard, ripping their lawn out and growing corn. It's pretty racy, That's neither here or there. We're here to talk about seed banks, seed libraries, and seed diversity. John, as a seed saver, you are based where? Where are you from?
I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, so it's a lot different climate than growing here, and people think, oh, you go to just Vegas to gamble and party, but I live there, and I grow a whole backyard full of all different kinds of varieties of things that are rare and unusual from all over the world, and especially in Vegas with the hot 100-plus degree weather in the summertime, I have to be having the exact right variety or it's not going to do well.
You're not the only one doing it. There's other homesteaders who are growing prolific amounts of greens, veggies, edibles, and are sustaining off that food in this climate and in this desert, which, to the untrained eye, looks like a bunch of buildings and then just dust, How are you doing it?
I mean, it's important to have the right varieties, so I get varieties that really like, the hot weather. So like the Malabar spinach, Egyptian spinach, moringa does really well. And then also it's super important, besides just having the right varieties, is treating them properly, right? Giving them the right amount of water, having good soil, good nutrients in the soil, good microbial and fungal activity in the soil, and also good minerals in the soil. And I mean, if it wasn't for my irrigation system, I wouldn't be sitting here today because I'd be at home taking care of my plants. So.
Babying them, right? Yeah. Okay, so would you say that your number one your biggest diversity is the heat and water?
Right.
In Vegas, okay. And you're from Springfield. How long have you been a resident there? Been growing there?
Well, what's really funny is I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is hilarious, and I've been in Springfield, Missouri for about 20 years.
Fantastic. What is the growing conditions, or what is the season there? I'm from Southern California. I'm zone 10A or 7B, depending on which dynamic you're looking at. Or
We're
paradigm.
considered zone 5, 6, and I would say it's been such a unique gardening season right now. But it kind of depends on what's going on. We do sometimes have more drought periods. I find what's really kind of interesting is that as sometimes your climates change very gradually, you want to try and look at what you're planting and try and accommodate the climate of where you're at. So
Sure. I remember being here last year and driving through the back roads. All the wildflowers were in bloom and already going to seed. It looks like you guys are having a little bit of a late spring.
yes,
Is that correct?
definitely. I would agree.
And as a zone, did you say 5?
Yes.
You guys have true frost here. Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean, for Springfield.
Yes.
I'm from California. I don't understand frost. And John, I know it snowed in Vegas before. Do you guys actually get frost? Like, or
Yeah, so this year was really light. We had 3 days below 32 degrees. So actually, some of my peppers overwintered. I covered them on the frost days, and then my John Deere Prokenbens, which was basically unfazed with even
Did
cold
you hear them
temperatures.
laugh? 3 days under 32.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, but sometimes my ground, like years ago, my ground would freeze, and that's no fun. So I understand that too.
But they will give you weather warnings for stuff like that, and you'll get a chance to heavily mulch or cover rare trees and stuff, right?
Of course, yes.
Fantastic. So, and being from Zone 5, what is the biggest diversity that you face with growing food and then growing seeds? It seems to be that Missouri has got a very prolific amount of potable fresh water. So I know water is not an issue.
It can be,
can be.
when we're
Let's talk
having
about
a drought period.
Drought
I mean,
year,
this
okay.
I was trying to figure out what is the one thing we have to struggle with the most. I mean, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, if we don't have a real winter, then we have thank you. I would say we have an issue with, if there isn't a true winter and a really good freeze that comes through and snow, then we have an issue with bugs and an issue with drought.
See, that was
knowing-
fantastic to hear
yeah,
that.
and knowing when to start your garden. You were talking about how you there's warning when you get a frost, and
Sure.
you said you're not familiar with the frost.
I'm not.
Well, one of the things you have to watch out for is, if it's earlier in the season and it'll be a day like this really nice, and you see those tomatoes or those peppers, and you go and you plant them, and then all of a sudden you've got snow coming through.
All of a sudden.
So, well, yeah, it can be like within a day or so. You have to really watch your weather, I would say, to see what's coming and what's going. So I myself really have to check the weather like every other day or
Religiously,
every day,
right?
yeah,
Like
to
a
see
yoga.
what's going on.